Hey there, my name is Nikki, and my brand is Nikki Living Naturally for some of those of you who have followed me for a very long time. And I have most recently relaunched, I guess, if you will, a movement called the Healthy Living REBElution. And I have a signature message to share with you. And I did not think that this journey was going to take me down the path that it has. And it wouldn't make sense for me to share any of the wisdom, the experience, and the message, if you will, that's on my heart to share without sharing this first part with you. And so the title of this live is, have you ever wondered why the caged bird sings? It's a famous poem by Maya Angelou. And she explains that the caged bird sings because it's a cry for freedom. He opens his throat to sing of things unknown but deeply longed for. I was on one of my identity shift trainings this morning, and then afterwards we had a smaller breakout session with our mentor who was guiding us through some of the things and the questions that we had with regards to sharing our signature message. And something really powerful came up for me, and it was a very emotional moment for me, and I'm just so grateful to the women that hold space for me and for my mentor who has helped me navigate through some of the deepest recesses of my subconscious mind to discover the things that have been holding me back for longer than I care to admit. And it has been a journey of intense self-discovery, of realization, and ultimately leading to probably the greatest transformation of my life. And I know that good things are going to come from it. So I have a question for you. Are you one of those women who has always known deep down in the recesses of your heart, at the core of your being, that you were born for greatness, but the world and everyone around you has always told you, literally told you, quote unquote, don't be so good that you make other people look bad? That was me, and it's always been me. Since I can ever remember, I've been told, don't walk that way. When in reality, it's just the way my body is designed. But the people in my life, especially the adults, they thought I was walking with sass. Don't talk that way. Don't be so bold. Anytime that I needed help, I was literally told, God damn it, Nicole. And so over time, I guess what has happened is that I started playing small. Not small enough to shrink completely, but small enough to stay attached. And one of the most influential authors that I have ever been exposed to is named Gabor Maté. And I read one of his giant tomes called The Myth of Normal. And in that book, he explains that at the very core of our being, we have attachment and we have authenticity. And if your authenticity puts at risk the attachments that you have to the relationships and the people in your life that are, especially when you're a child, meant to keep you safe, that you will always sacrifice authenticity for attachment, especially as a young child. There is no other choice. So subconsciously, as children, we learn how to give up parts of ourselves in order to stay attached to the people and the things that we need to survive. The problem with that is that over time, those thought patterns and those belief systems and those behaviors continue long after the need for it exists. I mean, I'm a grown woman. I'm no longer living in my parents' home. I'm not a child any longer, but still this need to be attached to the world, if you will, or relationships with people who have always encouraged me to be great, but not so great that I make other people look bad. Not so great that I threaten certain status quos, or not so great that I challenge the very systems from which our life is built around. And so, of course, growing up, I had dreams. big dreams. Actually, I have goals. I'm a very goal-oriented person. Most people would consider me a high achiever. I have people depending on me. I was a young single mom. Now my kids are grown, but still your family depends on you. And so I decided to rise. I persevered. And it's funny because I asked in my stories, what do you think my signature message is? I would love to know if your idea of what my signature message is the same as what it actually is. And I received multiple comments from people saying that they think my signature message is to persevere. And I gotta say, like, it made me proud, but it kind of shattered my heart a little bit, because it's not by choice that I've had to persevere, right? I am somebody who has experienced immense amounts of adversity in my life. I've had incredible challenges that I've had to overcome. My story, most people don't know the full totality of my story, but I've lived a life that most people could never even dream of in terms of the things that I've gone through and the things that I've overcome. And, it's become an innate survival skill, is that perseverance, but by no means is that my signature message to the world. And so, the thing is that I have done and accomplished a lot in my life. I have achieved a lot of incredible things in my life. I mean, I graduated from college as an adult with children, working full-time, magna cum laude, which was a huge big deal. So that's just kind of to put into perspective, like, the level of achievement that exists within me. But I've never fully shattered the glass ceiling, because I think, and I now know after the breakthrough that I had today, is that if I actually did truly shatter the glass ceiling over my head, that I would lose some of those key attachments in my life. And to me, subconsciously and consciously, it's almost like that is equivalent to death. It's like isolation, it's separation, it's, a complete, like, severing of what you've always known and who you've always been around and, what you've always been part of, quote unquote, the cage. Going back to the intro to this, is that, that I have subconsciously chosen attachment over authenticity, attachment over full capacity, attachment over my greatest potential, attachment over truly shattering the glass ceilings in my life. And so I've discovered today that I actually subconsciously, and this is really hard for me to accept the reality of, is that I have subconsciously attracted to myself people and situations that controlled me. So, like, I would rise and rise and rise and rise, and I would get so good, but the moment that it would threaten attachment, there would be people and situations in my life that would control it for me. They would knock me off of my path. They would threaten, certain aspects of my life. They would impose limitations on me. So to keep me, I can be here, but I could never be here, right? And so it was always chosen for me by outside forces. But what happens when you finally have the permission that you've always wished that you had, that you've always prayed for, the freedom and the permission and the safety that you've always prayed for so that you could completely live out your fullest potential? What would happen if it came? And no longer could you blame outside forces for you not reaching your potential, for you not living out your purpose, for you not fully embodying the greatness that has always been inside of you. And I'm at that moment in my life where literally God himself has opened my cage. It's always been unlocked, but he's holding the door open. And there's no person, no power, no principality in this realm, the natural world or the spiritual world, that has the power to shut that cage door any longer. It is being held wide open for me. And the only person that has the power and the authority to close it is me. And now you have a choice to make to stay in the cage that you've always been in. And even though you've always longed for and desired freedom from, it's safe and you feel kept, and in some strange way you feel loved, or are you going to literally leave your cage and freaking soar like the eagle that you are? And that's me, because I was never, ever, ever meant to be in a cage, because I'm an eagle. And eagles aren't just meant to fly, they're meant to soar. Eagles inspire greatness in others. Eagles are filled with strength. Eagles are a symbol of freedom. And so, for the first time, I just have this intense, overwhelming clarity that it's time to step out of my cage and to soar and to live life to my fullest potential. And now it makes so much sense why I had to take this journey. Because I've been inspiring people for a really long time. You know, I've been inspiring people through my life journey, through the journey of overcoming immense amounts of adversity. If you've been following me for any more than a year, you know that I've gone through a lot of things, and my perseverance has inspired a lot of people. You know that my health journey to freedom, to health freedom, has inspired, I know, a lot of people, which is what my signature message is all about. And I can't wait to share it with you in the next live. And I know that my decision to break generational strongholds in my family with regards to alcohol, my decision to be the one who went first, to be the chain breaker, and to embrace sobriety as a way of life, has inspired a lot of women, especially, to give up not just alcohol, but other things in their lives that were vices or a means of escaping, or just not even, thinking consciously about the habits in our lives. And I get messages from women every month when I celebrate my soberversary. So I know that I have inspired a lot of people, and that I've always deep down inside known that I am a catalyst, that I'm here to create change in this world, and that I'm here to create change in other people's lives. Oftentimes in my network marketing business, when I was coaching women, I would always say, like, I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to help you make the changes that you want to make. But now I know why I've never reached the pinnacle of my capabilities, is because every night, every day, I would leave my cage. And my wings were clipped, but they were long enough for me to fly around the room. They were long enough for me to fly around the room and inspire people, but every night I would fly back into my cage. And I would close that cage door myself. I did that. And letting go of victim mentality, accepting or taking radical responsibility for my life, it is not for the weak of heart. This is the most challenging, oh my gosh, most transformational experience, come to Jesus realization I've ever had. But I did, what I could do, and then I would fly back into my cage, and I would willingly spread my wing out to be cut, because I had grown accustomed to my cage, and in some ways I had fallen in love with my cage. And a lot of me feels at this moment in time fear. I'm facing that fear, and I'm also facing some guilt. Not some guilt, like actually a lot of guilt. But my biggest prayer has always been to be allowed to fully step into my greatness, to do the work that I know that I'm called to do here in this lifetime, and to create some really epic stuff with some really epic people, and to leave a legacy that's worth telling. And I know that it's scary and it's okay to feel guilty. Like, that's okay. My mentor told me it's okay. But I'm ready. And I'm so excited. And I'm so grateful. And I cannot wait to share my signature message with you. I don't think it's going to take me 7 days. The assignment is to go live once a day for 7 days. I think I'm probably going to get it done a lot faster than that, just because I know exactly what I want to share, and I know exactly what I'm here to do. And I'm ready to fully give myself permission. And I know that in me doing this, I am going to have the full capacity to be able to do what it is that I came here to do, which is to be a catalyst that helps people break free from the systems and the lies and the limiting beliefs that keep them sick, stuck, weak, dependent, and disconnected from themselves, from God, and from living out their God-given purpose in life. This is my rebellion. This is why I call my movement the Healthy Living REBELution. And this is my battle cry. It is time to rise. Rebels rise.